Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Doruk, and today I have another War of the Ring game for you. This is my seventh league game, and my opponent is Yekto, and this is gonna be our second league game. And this time I will be playing as Shadow, and my opponent is gonna be playing with the Free People with one action token, and they chose to have a Muster action token. Um, yeah, so let's jump right to it immediately. Um, so 1 second. All right, I fixed the turn. Yeah, I okay. So I am playing as Shadow. I have Ulukai and Black Captain commands. They're excellent cards, very militarily focused. And for that reason, I decided to allocate 0 eyes and just go for the plan, go for the Elven Pincer. I allocate 0 eyes and roll one. I don't get two masters, which is unfortunate. I get a lot of character and a palantir. All right. My opponent gets a lot of movement. Again, this is one of the reasons allocating 0 eyes is a little dangerous. The fellowship can just move fast. So let's go. My opponent starts by immediately moving the fellowship. It's not bad, but I think you should just pass. There's no reason to give any unnecessary information to Shadow, and you don't lose anything by just simply passing. But I miss. I start moving armies down around. I draw a strategy card. I could play Ulukai maybe in this army in South Andine Whale, but it's a little too early. I don't know where I technically will need that Ulukai, so I just keep it. So I want to draw a strategy card, see what happens. And it's also unclear where I'm gonna muster down, either Sauron or Isengard. And I think when you have a single muster, I think it's better to just muster Sauron so that you at least can make some attacks next round. And if you still don't get musters. All right, my opponent moves again, and now I catch them. They draw two, they kill off Gandalf, and all right, they're not revealed. Perfect, right? I start going. I move towards the Woodland Realm, and my opponent moves the third time. I miss. All right, and I keep going, and they muster down the elves, and I muster Sauron to war. Like I said, this little move makes it so that you can't bring in the North Downland unit into Moria to maybe besiege Woodland Realm. Sorry, Lorien, but you know, it's unfortunate, but it needs to happen. So turn two. I draw Balrog, which is amazing, and Desperate Battle. Great cards. I will attack. I'm thinking about attacking Lorien, so Balrog will definitely help. So I just allocate an eye, roll no more, get enough musters, and my opponent gets another moving roll. They're off to the races. Now with this roll, I should ideally get Saruman, right? Get my 8 dice. And with the other army movements, I should just go up to Woodland Realm. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks into Woodland Realm. And by the time I organize that army, I can just 1, 2, 3 attack, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. If I just perfectly attack 4, I would not have time to get the Witch King and Saruman, which is a little unfortunate. So I probably will have to pick between one of them. But the way things shake out, putting Isengard to war, bringing this North, like now I can actually afford to bring this North Dunland guy in. Just 1, 2, 3, or just like 1, 2, 3. Just basically station them outside these Elven strongholds to immediately besiege them next round. But that's my plan. My opponents start by playing Grimbjorn. Now, this was surprising to me because it's a scout. It's a really powerful scout, right? You, as free people, you want scouts, but it's kind of unlucky that my opponent didn't have any army movements because they now can't bring this guy in Carrick into Old Forest Road to scouts away into Woodland Realm. So they just play it, and I move towards it. My opponent passes. I make these moves again. Again, in hindsight, maybe I should have put down Isengard to war and also have this North Downland unit. But at the same time, I have Balrog, right? So I should not need more reinforcements in Lorien. So I wanted to keep this Lord Downland guy here, to maybe attack Shire easier or Rivendell a little easier in the future. I make those moves, and my opponent with the character dice does this. And I think this is super creative. I am technically rolling 7 dice with this army in Northern Rovanian. Like 5 and 2, so 7 dice. And my opponent has 3 hit points in there. So unless I roll 3 hits, they will be able to retreat. And if they have an advantageous position as well to like go along with it, they'll definitely go in. I mean, it's unfortunate they don't. But I think this was very creative. Like on average, on 7 dice, you should expect about 2 hits. So they will put one more elite into Woodland Realm and basically turn a no hybrid die situation into a like they will be able to get some guys into Woodland Realm. Well, they use the character dice to instead of moving as this, but I think you know I think it's worth it probably, right? Like you want like you're spending some time in military so to defend those places. So I think this was well played by my opponent. I think it's very resourceful. They spent 2 dice for it instead of a single army dice, but they were not going to use a ring to do that move. So they did the second best thing, right? Turned the Palantir and that into Palantir character into like a fake scouts and army. Is it worth it? Like it's a question, right? Like maybe it's not worth it, but I I I I think it was very creative, and I might not even get 1 hit. Then like 2 guys get into Woodland Realm, and I think I don't know. I just like it. Let me know if you like it as well. But I basically attack Lorien first because I don't want to see any power too great and Celeborn. So I want to be done with Lorien first. My opponent passes. I attack Old Forest Road. I play a strategy card. And the reason I play a strategy card is I'm looking at what I play. I played a desperate battle. I want to kill those guys. I can't afford to not kill them because I don't want them in Woodland Realm. Right? They could have another scouts, and that would have been terrible for me, wasting a desperate battle. But yeah, basically get the 3 hits I need by a desperate battle, and my opponent just gets 1 hit. No, 2. No, 1 hit, right? Why 2? 6 is a hit. 3 is not a hit. That should be 1 hit. Yeah. Anyway, it's so funny. I don't take my casualties immediately, and my opponent like tells me that they have 2 hits, and I just like, okay, yeah, sorry, I missed it. But in fact, it should have been a single hit. But whatever. So with the last character dice, my opponent starts moving. They're safe. And with the last 2 musters, I get Saruman. And my opponent moves again. They're safe again. I get Saruman. All right. And I don't think they use... Oh, they use their token. Why? To bring the elves to war. That's interesting. To muster into Woodland Realm? Maybe. I mean, I saw their hand that they have power to grade, so why didn't they use? I guess they didn't have the. They had a Palantir. Oh, they had a Palantir to play into Grimbjorn and like bring this army into Old Forest Road. Yeah, I think if you have power to grade, I think you should play power to grade instead of this Grimbjorn things. Um, it's kind of interesting if you're. Is there any world where you just bring these guys in Dale into Old Forest Road because you can do it with a strategy? Sorry, you can do it with the character dice. Basically, leave Dale open. Yeah, that seems also wrong because if you just go, will I switch to Dale? I attack. You go into Woodland Realm. I besiege it. There's like it's completely open. Yeah, probably not worth it. But like, I think if you have power to grade, you should save to play power to grade. Because had you played it, not only okay, I have like cards to kill it, but like maybe you would have gotten a muster into Lorien, which would make it like this 9 against 5 is fine for Shadow, but it's even more fine because I have Balrog. But if it was 7 versus 9, nah, this is not enough, right? So we go to turn 3. All right, turn 3. Sorry, I was out of frame for the last couple videos. I was just I'm trying to be a little more careful of that. All right, turn 3. Um, I draw Morgul Wound and a new Powers Rising. Excellent cards. I allocate a single eye, roll 2 more, a little bit more, and I get like this character. Like this is just basically, hey, do a corruption strat roll. It doesn't even give me the Witch King, unfortunately. Um, my opponent immediately musters an elite into Woodland Realm, and I just put them under siege. All right, that's fair. That's why you use the muster token, right? Opponent passes. I play new Powers Rising. I have nothing else to do with my Palantirs right now. And at this point, I'm very much thinking about attacking Helm's Deep, right? Just with these two with these two attacks, I'm like, hey, will they give me a free Helm's Deep, right? In 2 attacks. And my opponent is a good enough player to not allow me to. This move is also interesting. Usually you want to see Iron Hills into Erebor, but I guess they're not threatened right now, so that's fair. But like, yeah, my opponent is just immediately puts these guys here. But I attack Fords. And because Gandalf is, I mean, they're gonna get Gandalf. I just basically try to force this will to go in to make them go into Vestment instead of getting Gandalf. Right? They play Daylight. I get 1 hit, which is unfortunate because had I killed those 2 units, Hamza would have been super free. Right? And they do this. And this was my mistake. At the time, I didn't realize they could just like retreat into Westernet and use the leader to go back in. So that's why like this combat and fords was extremely important. And I probably should have played a card to try to kill them. Right, my opponent has a single strategy card, and I know it doesn't. It's not a. I don't know. I know it's not. Um, Scouts probably because had it been scouts, they would have definitely played it in the Old Forest Road. So I should try to kill this guy. I think that was my mistake. I should have maybe even come to kill it, to try to kill these, to not allow this leader to survive such that they can just, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's a little bit of Java trickery. Yeah, I just move everyone to besiege Helm's Deep. And they just put everyone with a sea dice. So I basically with this sortie out of Ore Tank, I just basically made them waste their sea dice. By the way, I brought everyone out of Ore Tank. I don't know if this is the mistake. Like maybe after you win the fight, you want to leave someone behind, right? Yeah, I think this is a mistake. I should like leave one dude behind and like maybe go for Westamnet and Edoras and Fold, like right, like besiege them, go to Westamnet and like cover up Rohan a little efficiently. Being in Westamnet and being in a position to cover both Edoras and Fold would be really good, while not allowing them to muster into Helm's Deep. And unnecessarily risking Saruman here was not wise for me, I think. I should just like leave one dude behind. I can like still put them under siege. Like this whole play, it still like makes sense, but at the very least, I can just at least keep Saruman safe. My opponent just gets Gandalf. Now Saruman's threatened, right? If one of the three character cards they have is an Ents, I'm very much in trouble. And the next card they draw, so like out of the four, so the first four cards being an Ent, let's just like do a little bit of math. So I have three cards. I will see four cards out of a 24 deck. That they see at least one is actually 43%. Is that correct? Wow. That seems wrong, but at the same time, 43% that they see an ants in three draws, in four draws. Can that be right? I feel like it is. Right? Like let me do the math from a different place. Maybe my own spreadsheet is wrong. So it would be, by the way, the way you do this math is that they have 24 cards. So you choose 24, choose 4, right? That's the how many cards they can technically draw. And you want one of the three ends, which is 3 choose 1, right? Times you do the rest of the cards, which is 21 choose 2. Choose 3, sorry. Which is 37%. Like the fact that they have exactly or like okay, we can do the other way as well. Like the cards that are not ends are 21. So 21 choose 4 divided by 24 choose 4. And then this is the how many the probability of them not seeing the ends, which is 56%. And if you 1 minus that, it's 43%. Yeah, the math is right. Like it's funnily enough is a 43% chance that they have Ents, which means 43% chance Saruman is dead, which makes this play a mistake for sure. Well, and I can't even like recruit with anything, right? So I just play Ulukai. And because they have mustered into Woodland Realm, I think the North will need some help. So I just recruit an elite up there. Maybe the elite would be helpful in Helm's Deep a little bit more. But yeah, I just do it up there. Yeah, interesting. I just didn't want to waste the Palantir. Like I had a card to play. I didn't want to fighting Urukai Helm's Deep because that army is definitely like not quite big enough. But maybe, yeah, maybe I should. Like, I want to be done with this fast. I want to, like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, my opponent. All right, I allocate one eye, and my opponent gets no movements. all right, at least they've slowed down a little bit. My opponent doesn't immediately slam down Ents, so I'm safe. But they played there and back again. It's kind of interesting that this card was played against me 2 games in a row. Uh, but yeah, they just bring Gimli into Erebor with 8 movement, right? Two of they're at 5, two more 7 plus one by the from the card. It's 8. They can just do that, and they yeah just move down the dwarves and move down the north, and definitely shore up Erebor. I get the Witch King. Right now, my idea, my strategy is, hey, okay, they have Gimli. Now that they have Gimli here, I'll just like leave Erebor be, take Woodland Realm, and move down to Lorien, cycle this Balrog, play this Balrog, be done with this place before Power 2 Great hits, move down to Helm's Deep, be done with Helm's Deep, and just have 6 points. And the other 4 points, I have some options, right? Like Rivendell or DA, right? Like a DA or Minas Tirith, like I or Edoras and Pelargir. Like I will have some choices depending on where free people put their stuff, right? Probably it's gonna be Edoras because Rohan will be at war, and Pelargir is another point. So I'll need to find 2 more points, and that's one either Dol Amroth or Minas Tirith, probably. But and there's also like an easy Dale if I choose, plus Shire. That's always an opportunity. But all right, so I go to Woodland Realm. Opponent passes, I attack Woodland Realm. I play Black Breath just cycle, right? Just my opponent plays Confusion. It confuses me more than I hit them, so um, yeah, that's a good round for my opponent. And I stop and draw. Yeah, I don't want to like throw everything I have at them because technically I'm at 8 and they're at 4, so it's like I don't want to go too hard, I guess. My opponent draws a strategy card. I guess they're looking for Tranduils. That makes sense. And I just want to be done with this, right? And I play the Palantir. I really like the Palantir of Orthanc card. It's just that I don't have any Palantirs, and I don't think I have time to play it right now. There's no reason to play it. Maybe I should like. There's also another no cards that I can technically cycle, right? Stormcrow, I'm at 7. They're at 3. Like it might not trigger Great Host, and the other cards I can't. Black Amp to commands, I'm obviously not gonna play. Onslaught, yeah, I can play, but like I'm besieging Helm's Deep. I really want to play it there. On Day Went is unplayable, so the only playable card is Cruel is Dead, and I do play that. And I get 1-2 hits. My opponent gets 1. They take it as a heroic death, right? And I say press run. I just say I will just wait. I'll just like take my time. I don't want to reduce those dudes so much. Yeah, but obviously that risks Thranduil's archers. And I attack again, and this time I play the Great Host because it's definitely gonna trigger this time. And I get 3 hits anyway, so at least I cycle it. So into desperate battle, which is great. My opponent musters down the dwarves the hard way. Right? Gimli's there. Dwarves are getting going. I'm a little surprised. Maybe they should have mustered like Rohan and started mustering in Edoras or something. Because this army is again not that big to like take this army in Helm's Deep. And if they get some reinforcements, they can definitely cause some problems. So I don't know if the mustering dwarves was the play, but interesting. Yeah, I play Blackhampton commands with the C dice. Unfortunate, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And to move the immediately to Lorien and attack Lorien. I moved the extra guy onto Helm's Deep because I can't put them on the Fellowship. That's kind of funny because they haven't they have moved 5 times, but they were not out of Rivendell. So I play and I choose, obviously, I play Balrog, and my opponent no cards it. So this should be good. All right, no hits. Balrog is just sleeping. Is just, what are you gonna do? Sometimes that happens. I get 2 hits. My opponent gets 2 hits back. Yeah, this time I can press because there's no really reason to like keep the army count high in Lorien. And I'll definitely play probably Desperate Battle to try to get it done. I choose a character card. Interesting. I guess I want to keep the Desperate Battle to play with the Fighting Urukai. So, yeah, just like Foul Stench it or something. Wormtongue is unplayable. I get 1 hit. My opponent gets 0. That's Lorien, right? My opponent plays Power to Great. Wow. My opponent was like a little. I guess they didn't realize I could just like Black Captain commands into Lorien and try to get it done. But yeah, this is obviously not great. But I think played a little late by my opponent. Like you really want to play this when Lorien's a little tougher to deal with. But right now, I just need to kill that and just go move on with my life. But at this point, I really, again, I don't want to throw away this Fighting Urukai, the army card. So I just think it through, and I just decide to, okay, let's not tempt fate anymore. Just muster an elite into Orthanc. My opponent moves on Dwarves fully now. They're at war, which is scary. And yeah, I just move in to reinforce the siege in Helm's Deep. And then what else did I do? Yeah, I went to Far Harad to Near Harad, which is, always a useful move. Alright, so 0 eyes again, allocated. Alright, I rolled a bunch of Palantirs, couple musters. And my opponent rolled, decent. Not too bad, not too good. Aomer. Oh, my opponent tries to play Aomer, but they can't because it's not considered a free region. Unfortunately, nothing can recruit into Helm's Deep because they don't have a companion. Had they have a companion, I think the only card is Riders of Theoden because it allows you to muster an Edoras or a place in Rohan where there's a companion, which is a weird requirement, but whatever. But we check, yeah, we just make sure that they can't, so they just do it in Edoras, right? That's fair. I start moving Southern Easterlings towards war. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attack Gondor. I'm gonna attack the north, probably Dale, right? The wars are getting angry. The wars are angry actually. So I will be using those Southron units. So it's the best use for these monsters, right? Opponent passes, I just put them all the way to war. Yeah, my opponent starts mustering the leader and a regular up there in Iron Hills. They're building an army. They're building a dwarven army, and it's getting scarier. Okay, I muster another elite in Orthanc because I really need to top up that army in Helm's Deep. I pass. All right, cool. Pass. I move up. I join in Umbar and I top up the Helm's Deep. Now that Helm's Deep army is definitely enough, like 14 against 5 with Fighting Urukai. I should take it. Like, one of these Palantirs is going to Fighting Urukai. One of these Palantirs is going to be used to kill the Power to Great. And the other will be probably used, I want to say, to play maybe Half Orcs and Goblin Men. Or On They Went, maybe. I would really not want to play On They Went, but whatever. Yeah, get rid of it. I get rid of the Lidless Eye and Half Orcs and Goblin Men, actually, because that's the only other army card. I would literally really love to play that for the Palantir. Probably in like up with the Woodland Realm army, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. My opponent moves sixth movement. I mean, it's a free move, so they're not gonna caught anytime soon. And I draw a strategy card, and I draw into a Deadly Strike, which is excellent, obviously. Um, I'm wondering if I could have drawn it earlier. That's interesting. Maybe. My opponent moves again. I attack Lorien, and my idea. Oh yeah, I attack Lorien. Now I'm gonna play either that. I think I should play Desperate Battle to be done with Lorien and to cycle, obviously. And I roll 2 hits. All right, that's why you play cards in combats, right? 5 and 6, they just done. Opponent gets 2 back, but that really doesn't matter. I cycle into Shadows Gathered, which is excellent. Which means Minas Tirith may be on the menu instead of Dol Amroth. My opponent moves, keeps mustering Dwarves, and I play Fighting Urukai, right? And I just bomb it with the Deadly Strife. I roll 4 hits. All right. My opponent rolls 3. Yeah, 4 hits back, which is this is which is what you do, right? You just immediately do a 1-for-1 trade that you can afford and that your opponent cannot afford. So I no card the second round and I just get a hit and it's done. They just get it 1 hit back. So it's basically they did 5 damage to me. I did 5 damage to them, but my army's bigger. So I'm at 6 points. Perfect, right? It's turn what? Turn 5, 6 points. Military is going decently fast, right? The Moria Dol Guldur army is reduced to basically nothing with 4 regulars. The Daggerlad army has a very much big leftover, and because they're very much mustering the dwarves, this 6 hit point army will be tough to actually for Shadow to try to, for free people to try to retake. Like it's not a free siege at all, right? And I still have a big army left over from Helm's Deep, which would love to be on Westamnet and, keep going. Okay, I draw into Mustering of the Long Primal, Desperate Battle, great. Ring is mine, excellent red tile, but Corruption's not the strat. I allocate 1 eye, roll no more. This game, like, the dice don't want me hunting the Fellowship. They're just like, don't care. Yeah, let them go, man. Who cares? My opponent plays. What does he do? They move immediately. Now they have they actually have. They can move into Mordor with the ring. I have had this cruel weather for a while now, but I can't play it because they're in Rivendell. No matter where I put the Fellowship, they are technically the same distance away from Mordor, which is a very cool design decision. Lorien the same way, Minas Tirith the same way. I think even Helm's Deep is the same way. Like, no, not that you would ever go towards Helm's Deep, maybe like through here. I don't know. But these strongholds, if you cruel weather, they're basically cruel weather immune because wherever you put them, they're the same distance away to Mordor, which I think is very cool. But anyway, my opponent moves and they're safe. And with the first army move, I just immediately go to Westernet and move out of Umbar because my next 4 points are gonna come from Gondor, right? Gondor and Edoras, basically. So my opponent passes, and I'm like surprised that they're not like mustering into Edoras, maybe. But basically, I prepare this move. Maybe I should have moved Nern to here, but like I just don't have enough half moves around here left. So even if I moved Nern to Gorgoroth, I still need another half move, which I technically have after killing these guys. So I probably should just attack here. Oh, but like I moved to fold, right? Yeah. What I do? Yeah. Okay, so I moved to fold. And the reason you move to fold here is basically to to corner this army in Edoras. I don't want to attack into Edoras, have them retreat into Fold, attack Fold, have them retreat into Druden Forest, attack into Druden Forest, have them retreat into like Minister. Like not like that. That journey would be really long. But I'm basically just saying, hey, I'm gonna kill you in Edoras, and you can't do anything about it, and you can't like because if I don't cover Fold, what they can do like with their dice, they can just like maybe go to Fold. And if I attack and they scouts away, they're now in Druden Forest. And because they're at war, they can just get into Minas Tirith with like a regular character dice or something, which is an extra elite and leader in there, which would be scary. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm just gonna like kill those guys. Right? 0, 1, I press obviously, and just get the 2 hits. They hit back. So they did 2 damage, right, to me. But you know, whatever. Basically, Rohan is fully covered up, which is great. And you can see the lack of the like maybe yeah this is why I should probably brought this guy from the guys in Nern into Gorgoroth now that they would be together in Minas Morgul. And this move into South Ithilien is definitely not good because if I attack into Osgiliath and they just survive, they can just go to North Ithilien and capture Minas Morgul. Like Mordor is wide open right now, along with other strongholds. So it's a little dangerous if I roll a bad roll. So this 8 move is probably a little unnecessary. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So I just take everything back and I recruit an elite in there. Yeah, that makes sense. If I'm again, like I said, the usually these armies are gonna do stuff in Minas Tirith and Pelargir, and I'm basically targeting Minas Tirith because I have Shadows Gather. From Minas Morgul, I can just Shadows Gather on top of Minas Tirith. Boop boop boop. So it makes sense to start building an army here to reinforce Minas Tirith eventually, because also these extra guys in Edoras and Fold, they're gonna attack Minas Tirith. And Gondor's not at war, so I'm just gonna be able to catch a very undefended Minas Tirith. That's my plan. My opponent plays Dane. Now that army is getting huge. Right, I move out. Finally. They move again. They're safe again. Philippe's not being caught. And yeah, I just like cover Umbar. Yeah, these guys from Nern should be with this army, but whatever. My opponent plays We Prove the Swifter. And because Philippe's 9 movement, they can just basically get into anywhere. And they brought Legolas and Boromir all the way into Minas Tirith. Which is all of a sudden very scary. And this is one of the reasons why you want to catch the Fellowship in the hunt. If Fellowship goes unchecked, they have the ability to separate and reach any stronghold, any location that they want, and suddenly this Minas Tirith, which was looking from I'm just gonna take it basically very easily with all these armies around it, now I have to deal with 2 captains of the West. It's still not actual hit points, right? It's still 5 hit point army, but they can definitely dish out way more damage. Plus, they have 3 character cards. Who knows how many heroic deaths and brave stance and mighty attacks and all that stuff they have, right? Or sudden strikes, like all these cards suddenly daring defiance, like all these cards just become active just because of the existence of companions. So with the last 2 Palantirs, I really don't have anything to play, right? I just play Ring is Mine because Fellowship will be in Mordor next round. If my opponent uses a ring, and they do use a ring to do, and even if I catch them at this point, which I do, I don't reveal them, which is it doesn't matter if I don't reveal them, they're in. I can't play Cruel Weather. If I reveal them, they're in. I just draw an extra tile, and I draw 3. My opponent takes it. I mean, the Fellowship is right now very empty, right? They brought all these 4 wait, yeah, I yeah, they brought not only these Legolas and Boromir, but also the two hobbits. So like this Minas Tirith is stacked. Fellowship is looking a little lonely with Strider, but yeah. And with the last Palantir, even though I have a ring, I just said, hey, I'm just gonna put another red in there. Why not? Right? Hunt pool. Let's do the hunt pool. Turn 7. They declared hunt pool. Okay, so hunt pool is looking like this. So 16 tiles and 2 reds. So I think more than likely my opponent will need to spend 6, 7 character dice probably to move up the track, along with some hides and whatnot. So it's a pretty it's not the quickest way. So I still have time, right? I probably have 2 turns, I want to say, at most. So but yeah, obviously I want to stay. So I allocate 1 eye, I roll 1 more. My opponent gets a very flexible roll, and they immediately wait. Do they move? Yeah, they move. They move immediately. It's a 2 reveal. It's a little unfortunate. I don't think you would technically want to take Strider if you're concerned of time, but you obviously want to get down to Golem and make all these 1s and 0s non-reveals, right? And have the ability to take less damage from them. And not run this track so high. But I might have taken it, and maybe with the second move, I would have hide with the Palantir and moved again, and now all the eyes are dealing 3 damage to you, so you might like take them efficiently. It was interesting. Who knows? Yeah, now I shadows get. Oh, but by the way, I did not roll any character movements, character dice. So all these Nazgul in Woodland Realm, Lorien, are just stuck there. I can't move them. I played Black Captain Commands, so the only other card that moves them, which is playable right now, is Ring Rates Are Abroad, and I don't have that card. So weirdly, I just kind of just Shadows Gather from Lorien into Drudum Forest. Like it's basically the world's least effective sea dice usage. But hey, this game is about solving problems with the dice you have, with the tools you have, and yeah, that's what you do. Unfortunately, like I would really want to keep the Shadows Gather to maybe reinforce Minas Tirith with from Minas Morgul immediately, but yeah, all these armies should definitely be enough at this point, but we'll see. My opponent plays Kindred of Glorfindel, just I think to cycle a card, right? That makes sense. Finally put Minas Tirith under siege. Gondor is still not at war, by the way. And then I attack Pelargir. Yeah, I don't want them mustering in Pelargir if I can avoid it. I don't roll any hits, which is sad, because now, yeah, I takes another, like I would want to cover Lossarnacht and like go threaten Dol Amroth, waste some of this muster dice on DA potentially, right? To not have to deal with musters somewhere else on the board. Yeah. Because ideally, after I got Pelargir, I just need 2 points. I can go Shire and Dale, right? And I don't want the North to be able to muster when I do or something, right? Like, so it matters. And yeah, at this point, I cover Lossarnacht, and I'm just topping up this army now, right? This army is worth 10 hit points, and they have a 5 hit point army with bunch of companions. I definitely need reinforcements. Like, and I'm like a little bit hesitant to attacking Osgiliath because Minas Morgul's open. Maybe I should attack, see what happens, because they don't have any movement, right? After this move, they move everyone into Dale. Now this army, right? they realize that they can lose Minas Tirith this round, so they're being proactive with taking this Woodland Realm. So they have exactly 2 attacks. At this point, I probably should just attack, but like I have a single attack. This is gonna get the mouth. The Palantir is just what? Nothing. Maybe just try to foul thing them, but like it just most likely misses and doesn't even reveal them technically. So this Palantir should probably just draw me a card. Ideally a character card because I really want to cancel all this leadership here. But yeah, or oh yeah, I'm gonna this is fair. I'm gonna top up that Minas Tirith, and I'm moving towards East Rune because after this attack goes through, I realize that Erebor is gonna be a little bit shaky, a little bit weak, or Dale will be a little bit weak, which I might like these armies in the east can definitely take advantage of. So I move towards there. My opponent attacks Woodland Realm. And this, it's funny, the Northmen can't come because they're not at war, but whatever. I get the mouse. And now the moment of truth. Right? Can this army take Minas Tirith? It's again, like I said, it's 14 hit point against 5. It's the hit point matters, but they obviously have way too many cards. I also have very much cards. I have Swarm of Bats, right? And there's, I mean, there's a Hobbit. There's a Hobbit with the army, right? They can just Blade of Esterniz me. They have 4 character cards. It's a very dangerous fight for me. But can I actually take it? Probably, right? I'll just like press them down and just like play all these cards. So, expecting that to happen, they obviously just ring attack into Woodland Realm until now that's a 10 hit point. And oh, by the way, this is a 10 hit point army against a 6, but they have 4 leadership plus Gimli. So this is definitely that army can definitely take it. Should I play any cards here? I genuinely don't think so. Maybe a Swarm of Bats if I see a strategy card being played to maybe cancel a mighty attack, or no, mighty attacks are character. Maybe a sudden strike, yeah, to maybe cancel a sudden strike. But I'm expecting not to play anything there and just like basically keep all these cards for the fight in Minas Tirith. So my opponent no cards, I no card. My opponent gets 2 hits, I get 1. They press. They just basically gonna press until they take it because they think Minas Tirith is about to fall. They get 0 hits, I get 1 hit. They press. Now it's 4 against 6. But again, I don't have any leadership and they have Gimli, so they play a character finally. They shield wall. Get 1 hit. I get 1 back. Shield wall doesn't do anything, which is unfortunate for my opponent. They play another advantageous position. They can play because it's the defending nation, which is the orcs, are in Free People Nation. So they get 2 hits. I get 0. They press again. They no card. They're attacking with 4 dice against the 1 dude. So they're basically wanting like a 6 and 8. So it's like expected, and they get it. And I get 1 back. So that huge dwarven army just got reduced to 2 regulars and just a bunch of leaders. And the dwarven force pool also just basically just a single elite now. Which makes these 2 armies, I can just muster them up and take them very easily. But will they be able to do that before Frodo and Sam dunks the ring? And Smeagol dunks the ring is gonna be the question, right? They put me back to 6 points again. Yeah, I use the ring to attack empty, and I immediately play a strategy card, expecting like a Blade of the Westernness. I expected what else did I expect? A brave stance. I expected like bunch of different nasty things. So I play my Swarm of Bats immediately, and my opponent no cards. And I was like, oh my god, they're the best gamer in the world. Like they knew because I didn't show any Swarm of Bats to them right by this time, so they like avoiding Swarm of Bats obviously, right? Like they're obviously doing like metagaming me on the cards, and I roll 2 hits. My opponent rolls 3. All right, that's a good round for me. I press and draw, and this time I play probably Cruel Weather. Or yeah, Cruel Weather is unplayable, so I'll just play that and I draw. Become to kill. I love. I mean, Hill Trolls would have been excellent. I could not have played it actually. Um, yeah, Hill Trolls are actually not a useful card because the next place I will need attacking is the north again, and that does not help up there. So I play Cruel Weather, and my opponent no cards it again, and I get 2 hits. My opponent gets nothing. That was like a very unfortunate roll from my opponent. And I press one more time. I just need a 1/6. And they no carded again. And I roll one. I roll my 6, and they roll 2. They do 2 damage to me. And I take ministers. That was like way easier than I expected to be. Right? I expected a huge battle with sudden strikes and like all these character cards, and they have 4, by the way, right? And I mean, they show me after the game, but like they're all tile drawing. They're all blue tiles in Atlas. Um, it's very unlikely that that would happen, and I didn't even have to deal with a single relevant character card there. But yeah, so I took Minister, so I would have won. My opponent basically did the correct move and just like recaptured the north with the dwarves. I draw into Shadows and Isildur's Bane. All right. One eye, 2 rolled. That's the highest I've rolled. And I get like very mid roll, right? I don't have many playable cards. I don't care about playing Isildur or Faldic. Shadow in the Misty Mountain, where am I gonna shadow in the Misty Mountain for? Mustering of the Long Prime War, like it's already over, right? A Shadow Lengthens would have been really good. What else would be really good? Rage of the Dunlendings maybe would have been really good. Um, yeah, because at this point I'm looking at the board and like, where do I get my last 2 points? It could be Shire and Dale, or Many Kings would have been good, or like a Horde from the East. I might have played that, but have I played Horde from the East? I think I played Deadly Strife on the Valinor. Return to Valinor. But let's see if I could have drawn Great Host. We to kill. Yeah, I still could have drawn Horde from these, which would have been excellent, right? With East Rune. Or maybe if I like rolled a bunch of master here. So basically, my plan is some way to threaten the Shire and Dale and Erebor at the same time, such that they have three masters showing technically, right? And yeah, that's my idea. Maybe I attack into Lamadon, maybe try to get a cheap Dol Amrot to force these masters out, because they clearly not don't have Círdan or Imrahil, and they have the elites to be able to do that. So um, my opponent starts immediately by moving with the Palantir, which makes them actually in contention to dunk this round, unless they hit a red, which is or if they avoid the eyes in the first, like all these 3 movements, right? They get a 1. They don't reveal. That's correct. You want to be able to dunk potentially. And I offer a think. And then I muster Northrend because that's the place I will need it. The other muster I just needed to make an attack, right? I have 4 attacks left, which means 1, 2, 3 actually attacking here. Right? If I turn one of the penalties into a moving leaders, maybe that's good. Attack here once, attack here. But like I don't get any pushes. I don't get any presses into this Dolamrod. Unfortunate. So 1 attack, 2 attack. I didn't even have that good combat cards. Maybe Onslaught can finish this off, but 1, 2, attack, 3, 4. So I have exactly 4 plus like a leadership movement. So that could have been interesting. But again, like this strategy, I mean, yeah, Círdan or Dolamrot, Imrahil would definitely like immediately kill that plan. So basically, I would force them to have it, force them to show me. But instead of going that way, I wanted to, because they already played Dane, right? And did they play Tom Bombadil? Let me see. They played Tom Bombadil already? They have not, no. So they could technically have Tom Bombadil as well, or King Brandsman for the Dale, right? So I basically like, okay, like I want to muster there. And my opponent, I think my opponent should pass here, by the way, but like they immediately muster into Erebor, which means now Erebor is technically out of the question because I need to go 1, 2, 3, move all the leadership and attack, and that would be a 5, 2. That would be a 9 hit point against. That's actually very doable. But my opponent can get the Gimli back in there in time, which would be a 3. Like it's very interesting. What would you do in this situation or at the beginning of the turn? Like where would you target and what plan would you execute as Shadow? Right? Because I definitely can't afford to muster again here. And I basically would have to merge these armies 1, 2 here, 2, 3, and just attack. So that's 3 of my attacks. Use a ring to position the leadership and attack with the mouth last action to attack Erebor. But if I immediately go for that plan, they can just move these dudes there. But like I kind of do something similar-ish, I want to say. But like I obviously have to move the Eastern. Like this is the mistake, I think. I should move these guys to Vale of Karnan. Right? 1, 2, because this is a 1, 2, this is a 1, 2, 3. So I should always be moving these guys, or at least be merging them here. And then I also do South Eredwin, because I also want to threaten the Shire and maybe threaten Dale at the same time. Right now I'm threatening the Dale and Shire at the same time. My opponent immediately goes into defend Dale, right? Had these two armies been together, like if this was a 5-1, now I can besiege Erebor. But right now, this army in Iron Hills is just way too small to be able to be able to do that, right? Like if I do this, and this, they're like, okay, I need to defend Dale here, or they pass, and I move this entire army up here, and I mean, I don't need another half moon anywhere else on the board, right? Let's just do something like whatever, doesn't really matter. And then they move here. Now this army is big. It's a 5-2-0. Now what do? Do they leave Dale open and move everyone into Erebor? No, at that point Dale would be open. So I'm like, okay, I'm basically like looking at this position, right? If you roll back a little bit, right? With this army movement, I hope I don't mess up the replay, but with this army movement, I move here and I move here, And then my opponent passes because I'm not technically threatening anything. I mean, they can like technically move the Grey Havens out if they wanted, but like I feel like that's a little risky because I could just like go under them maybe. Um, right, like I don't I'm skeptical to showing this, but like if they just like do something like this, right? I can just like play with an army. If I just play this army and then just go up here and down here, now they have to go back into Grey Havens. So um let's just take everything back. I think I think I'm definitely gonna mess this up. But so I merged up here, they pass, I move again. Um right, they imagine they pass. I move again here and just like make another unnecessary half move somewhere on the board. Like, let's go there. Why not? Now I'm basically threatening to either besiege Erebor or either besiege Dale, right? Now, if they move to defend Dale, I can just like technically me besieging the Erebor doesn't make any difference to me because they don't have any musterable units in there. They can just get one leader in there. Who cares, right? With this Palantir, if I just reposition all the Nazgul, oh, not there, here. Now they have a tough choice. Do they leave Dale? But by then I should probably also just attack, right? Like I should with this 3 units take Shire and basically say, hey, which one are you gonna abandon? Whichever you don't, like I'm just gonna take it. So all right, I think I'm fully all right. Yeah. So instead of all that, I think that would have been the better play, but definitely like threaten Erebor and Dale at the same time. But like I should have taken the Shire. So take Shire, threaten both. That should have been the course of action. Like, did you? I'm just gonna show it once. This is what I should have done, right? Like merge these, move towards that. Like they assume they pass. I threaten both. No, I threaten both and make a dumb army movement. Sure, they now realize the thing, right? They go there. I'm not gonna besiege immediately. I attack Shire here, and a 3 against the 1 in city is technically like I'm at advantage. I have I do half a hit first round. They do 1/3 of a hit. The second round, I will be doing another. Now we will be doing the same amount of hits, which means I will do a 1 hit next. No, not 1 hit. 2/3 of a hit. Right. If I'm rolling 3, yeah, that's a 1 hit next round. So I technically should take this combat, but like I should obviously make sure that I take it. Right. Once I take Shire, once Shire is out of the picture, now either Dale or Erebor wins me, and the fellowship and the Free People has a tough decision. Like, okay, the North would be at war, and they would probably use this will to muster an elite, right, into Dale. But the question is like, what do you try to defend, right? Right? Like, I can technically just well, like yeah. At this point, though, I don't have enough attacks, which is kind of unfortunate. But like, I can technically besiege Erebor, and then like, oh, you need to attack into there, and if they attack, I just like retreat into here, and yeah, they bring everyone out. But like with my final die, I can just move into a free woodland realm, right? So it's a bit of a tricky situation for Free People to deal with. Basically, like, hey, what are you doing? Are you abandoning Dale or are you abandoning Erebor? Either of which wins me the game. So you can't defend both at the same time. So basically, I think that's how I should have played. But what I did was just a little bit unfortunate. I did this, right? Let's kill this die. I'm just gonna try to get back to where the replay was. My opponent played this, right? They moved into here, and I think they did something with the Troll Shah's army. Did they where did they move their half movement? The other half movement. It's there or something. Maybe they should have moved, yeah, again. There. Wait, what's the... Yeah, at most Troll Shahs. Yekto undoes last action, and instead they're thinking they move the free action dice and they play King Brandsman. This is like really good, obviously. They had King Brandsman. They play it. So now, all right, that's one of the best cards you could have at this point. And I'm like, I'm basically confident because I didn't move this army properly again up to North Hills. Like, this army is way too weak to be able to take. So at this point, I'm forced to attack Shire and basically take Shire. Because if I let them muster in Shire, there's no way I can take Shire. So I attack it. They get one hit, right? I obviously press, and I'm rolling 2. And I get my hit, and they get a hit. So even though it was like a little sketchy, I think it was like fine. And they can technically retake Shire with like these 2 dice. But then that would mean they don't move anymore. And if they give me another turn, I definitely would be able to just take Erebor. I think. But yeah, so they would like to not make me win but also move with the C to actually be able to dunk. But like I just merge up in Wellocarn and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna take Dale. And with their will, they basically do a last stand and like they don't leave it complete. I think you should bring everyone from Woodland Realm because there's literally no reason not to. But like if you bring everyone from Erebor, I can go back to Iron Hills, force you to make a move, and then like attack from there. So I think yeah, that's correct to leave it irregular here, but like this regular in Woodland Realm is unnecessary. And basically, I draw a character card because I know I'm fighting against Gimli and a bunch of leaders here, so need to have the foul stand is the perfect card, right? The reroll canceling is huge. My opponent passes, I use a ring to move all the Nazguls up there. And just alright, whatever. And my opponent moves the fellowship. They get an eye. It's a 3 reveal. This Palantir was played with there's another way. So that dice should not be in the box. So just take it, take 3. They're revealed. And I just attack into Dale. Like this is this my army's 9 hit points against a 6 hit point army. I have really good cards. My opponent unfortunately has a single card to play, and they did top deck Imrahil, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I attack Dale. I play Foul Stench. My opponent. I think if you're gonna play a shield wall, I think you should play in the next round because I'm unlikely to roll 2 6s, but obviously I just play the card so I could be hitting on more. I just cancel their leadership. I get 2 hits, so shield wall does something, and my opponent just gets nothing. And that was like the tough round, right? Now it's a 9 against 5, and we're basically rolling. We're on the same ground, and I have all these cards. And so I basically draw another card. And it's Words of Power. It's just I just play it, and my opponent just says, as I was thinking, all no card for me, and I understand the frustration my opponent feels because all these blue tiles are clogging their hand. But like when you tell me that you have all no cards from anymore. I literally can like play anything, right? It's small, but whatever. So I just play Words of Power, cancel Gimli, rolled 4 hits, and yeah, my opponent rolls 1 hit, and yeah, that's technically GG. But like, just for completion's sake, I for the last round I said I show the desperate battle. I roll a single hit. Funny, but yeah, that was GG. This was very interesting. I think this shadow game was a lot smoother for me. I think I made a big mistake leaving Orthanc open for a turn because, like you said, just by looking at digging into the deck 4 times, that's 43% chance that you see Ents, which is like way too high to leave Saruman open. This end turn was a little bit weird. I just like really couldn't move the armies efficiently again in here to threaten both Dale and Erebor, so that was a little mistake. Um, but yeah, it was a very fast turn 8 victory. I got a little lucky with the Ministerids because my opponent just really didn't have any character cards to play. And maybe mistakenly, I avoided Dol Amroth for so long because I assumed my opponent would have a way to defend, or at least by the time I get there, they would just muster up. And if your siege in Dol Amroth goes south, like there's no reinforcements coming anytime soon, so it's a weird target, right? Like Ministerids is more reinforceable than DA, so interesting. But I overall I was very satisfied with the way I played. And my opponent also played a very good game. It's tough to be free people this game. So as far as statistics goes, let's see. All right, let's not. All right, cool. Yeah, my opponent is down a little bit down on wills. Okay, I'm down on eyes, which is excellent because I was going for a pure military endeavor. I'm up on attacks. I'm a little bit, basically okay. I'm a little bit high on Palantirs, but whatever. On sixes, I am -3 and -5, and my opponent is -2 and -2. So like as far as like the combat luck goes, I think it's evenish. It's not crazy unlucky for both sides. Like we just not were hitting a lot of hits. And yeah, I still got 26 hits, which is like way more than I need technically to get in some places, right? Um but yeah, this was a great game. Well played to my opponent, Yekto, and yeah, I hope it was instructive for you as well. Please let me know what you would have done differently or your thoughts, your opinions. I'd love to hear them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.